right. Have a good day, Larry.
Have a good day, Dave. Steve.
All right, Dawn, come on up.
John or Dawn?
Dawn,
Okay.
sorry, it'll be just a second.
Okay. I never make enough copies, but
You got 1 minute.
Thank you.
thanks.
She's gonna take all the time she wants, Roger.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be out of here at 10 o'clock.
I was also supposed to be in here at 9:45.
What was it?
Roger, you always have to. Okay, so this is where the county's at for the end of the second quarter, as far as money, where it's at, interest rates. Interest rates continue to be going up. I consolidated 2 CDs at the bank into the 1 CD because they offered me a killer interest rate.
Yep.
So the same amount of money is in the 1 CD, it's just at a higher interest rate, and it's 1 CD instead of 2.
And these CDs are all, they're backed higher
Yes.
than $250,000 if something happens to the bank, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's pledged and covered, and
I checked with one bank and knew it was, so.
yeah. Yep, I get pledgings frequently.
Good,
Of
thank you.
where we're at and everything. So I have confidence in the banks that they are
I do too.
taking care of us. So, so down at the bottom, you can see our interest rate has improved from first quarter to second quarter because our income has almost doubled. So that's fantastic. I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. It might flatten out, but I don't think it's going to start going down. So that'll be a nice thing for the county to continue
Yes.
to get quarterly. I ordered my desks. They are on back order, so they're not gonna, tentatively, it says end of July now, which is gonna push us into August, cause I'll wait till after fair, cause I don't know that I can get people here on the weekend to, so that's not ideal, but I couldn't do anything about that, so I will keep you guys updated on that as I get more information. The electrician is ready to go. We just have to get the desks to be able to, desks have to get here first, so everything else is set. And I talked to Reach about things, so Reach is on board as well, so.
Good.
Hopefully, once the desks get here, it'll be a smooth transition.
Did CIC work for you this week?
It has intermittently been working. It's been working more and better than it has. This has been a more
They still have
positive week.
employees.
Good.
I threatened it with Leslie, and it's been a little bit better about them. I did, I said,
Well,
I put in a support call and I said, if this doesn't get to work, and I'm turning this over to the county attorney, because they were getting a runaround.
and the one technician that I've been working with, she's really good, but she also understands my frustration. So she has taught me some things so that I can do some things on my own and not have to do so many support calls, which it's good and bad. I
We're
appreciate.
paying them to do it.
Yes, but I also appreciate the fact that I don't have to wait 8 hours for them to tell me to click on 2 things. They've taught me the 2 things to click on, and I can, so it's kind of a double-edged sword because we are paying them for customer service that, and now, I mean, like I was over in Register of Deeds yesterday, I was in the appraiser's office yesterday because they taught me how to do these things, which is a great asset for the county, yes, but we're still paying them to do this that now I am doing for them. So, I don't know. I'm happy that, like I said, it has been a more positive week. But with all of this, with the CIC going down and all sorts of stuff, and taxpayers not being happy because systems were down and I couldn't collect taxes and I couldn't do stuff, I've spent hours and hours getting things worked out in my brain on office procedures on how to run my office without a computer. So I don't have it written down yet. I have it figured out. I don't have it written down yet for Jen and Melva to be able to read. But in the event that CIC crashes again, I can collect taxes. I've got a paper system now to where we won't.
A buffer.
Yeah.
Good.
So I can do everything that I need to be able to do, going the paper route. So hopefully we don't have upset customers, because I know there was a Bird City resident that was upset with the May thing, when it crashed in May, not being able to get a receipt for taxes paid and verification and stuff like that. So I have figured it's been a headache and lots of hours, but I have figured out how to, at least I think I have, for the most part. But with that, since there's been, I don't want to say grumpiness, but taxpayers have not been pleased with the way things have been. And it's been kind of out of my hand, but kind of in my hands too. So I would like to do a survey, customer service survey. I put together just 4 questions. What month did you come to the treasurer's office? What were you doing? Motor vehicle, property tax, driver's license, other. Satisfaction 1 to 5, and then explain your rating for the above question. And I'd like to, it's just a quick, I'll put the link out on my Facebook and on the website. I just would like to get some feedback on where people, I tried to make it short and sweet. I don't want to create a big mess, but there's always room for improvement, and I think it would be good to check in with the taxpayers
Right.
to see their thoughts, good and bad. Because it might, that's the thing, people always, they complain, they don't necessarily,
Right.
hey, it was a great time paying my taxes today in the treasurer's office, you know what I mean? That's not something that just, so I think this might help a little bit
Right.
to get a kind of see where we're at. So I wanted to let you guys know before I actually did it.
Okay.
So that's all I really had. Any questions for me?
On these CDs, if we'd ever need them, how long are each one of them locked in?
I put the maturity date on there.
Oh, okay.
So they mature at different times, so that's not all. Most of them are either 12 or 13 month.
Okay.
But I have them maturing at different times so that
If we need 'em.
if we needed them at a different
Okay.
time, we could pull.
All right.
And right now, we've only got the 3 CDs, one at FMB, one at Western, and one at the bank.
Yeah.
The rest is all easily accessible.
That is
Yeah,
awesome for us savings.
yeah, yeah. So, I'm happy with where all of this
Thank
is
you.
at right now, so. Any other questions?
It's 8 minutes late.
I tried.
You did good. Thank you, Donna. Have a
Yep.
good weekend.
Yep, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ready for me?
Yeah.
You're being sure you're fully covered on, okay.
Yes.
Banks are going through a struggling kind of.
Yeah, I've been getting pledgings back and forth,
Yeah.
so.
I checked on a few of
Yeah,
them.
I don't know about the banks, but the industry in general struggles, so don't take any chances.
Right.
You know that
Thank
I
you.
believe that.
You said that. You want to tell him maybe you ordered them? I'm gonna fill my coffee while he's handing that out.
Thank you.
Willie? You want to get these?
No, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
That's okay, no, you're fine.
It's the whole spectrum though.
Okay, this is basically the meat out of what would end up going into the paper.
Okay.
And it's showing you various things. And you can see that, for instance, a year ago in 2022, we had a valuation of 61.6 mils. Our levy rate was 88.24. This year, we're operating on 64,589,000, and our mill rate is 89.944. Next year, our valuation goes up again to 60,126,000. And our revenue neutral rate, in other words, that's the rate that would give us the same tax dollars as the previous year. In other words, we take what we levied the prior year, divide it by this year's valuation, and then that gives us that rate. So you can see that I've got what budgets and stuff in here, and I'm coming in with less than revenue neutral rate. You know, this county has went from a situation years ago of being in pretty poor shape to, you know, really good. And that's because we are in a good health. So anyway, this here starts with page 7, which is the budget forms, and the first 6 pages is a bunch of computations and different things. And the actual funds start with 7 here. One of the things that puts us in such good health is the general fund. And you can see we started 2022 at $3,195,000. We ended at $3,944,000. This is the very top line. So that carryover balance is what is helping us out a lot.
Right.
So, first page is estimates and stuff that's kind of given to us from the state, and a few estimates that I've kind of made. Because we're in such good shape, I've been pretty conservative on some of these estimates. In other words, the sales tax last year in '22 was $310,000. Well, we've been budgeting $215,000, so I imagine that's way low.
On your mineral production tax, is that gonna be, because they've hit oil several different places, is that gonna be vary with that or not?
My thought is that's probably gonna hold up too.
Okay.
That'll fluctuate more with the price of oil.
Okay.
And anyway, so once again, if we was in a situation where we was over revenue neutral, I would have definitely pushed that up to probably $14,000 or $13,500. I would have pushed your local sales tax up. So I'm very conservative. You can take a look at the
That
interest.
should be a lot higher.
Like she says, you're bringing in a lot more this year than you did last year, and yet I used the old figures of down below. So,
Okay.
anyway, just letting you know that I'm conservative on our estimates there. Last year on ambulance, once again, we're less than what we've been getting. They didn't give me an estimate, so I used the same thing. That could be higher. Emergency preparedness, they did give me their estimated receipts in the budget, so I used the amount that they gave me. And solid waste, I think we used the same as last year, which is close to what we received in the previous
Amount of last
year.
year's, right?
And then the sheriff, also gave me his contract.
Oh, okay.
So I used his contract deal out of his
Okay.
thing. So, okay, then let's go over here to the next page.
That's page what?
Okay.
7A.
7A, and that's your expenditures. I can use my computer.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, the appraiser, adjusted some of the line items a little bit, but total budget was the same as last year. The ambulance, once again, some of the line items changed, but the total is still the same. Election, a little higher. Surprised it wasn't higher because you're coming into a general election year, the biggest one. And, you know, that election high on the general election year, back down the next year, and then back up a little bit on the next year, down, and then the presidential election year is always the highest. So. But you're comfortable with that then?
I don't know. I have something I need to talk to them in executive session about, so I may
Okay.
be getting back with you
Okay.
on that.
Okay, commissioners. I left that the same. Is that all right? Okay. County clerk, you got not quite a 6,000 increase there.
Yeah, we'll cut that.
Yeah, and then I can see the election going up.
Quite a bit.
Compensation.
Okay, treasurers, that's been reduced from the previous year. County attorney, up just a little bit, looks like in the salary part. Okay, register of deeds, they left that the same. Sheriff, and anyway,
I think we're gonna purchase some vehicles. That's why that one went up.
okay, I was gonna say it's up, but
Not bad.
yeah.
In 5 years, we might get them. The way they're being made.
So, and that's a combination of two budgets,
Right.
there, so. Dispatching, that's up a little bit, looks like mainly under wages.
Yeah.
Is that
we had-
like on the sheriff?
We were comparable with everybody else.
Is that contract labor with like the two cities, is that in there?
Yeah, that's,
He has his building over in Bird City that's separate,
yeah, that,
included into that.
his budget was 703,610, and then for the Bird City, he had a separate budget of 9,500. And that's the two together, the 713,000. Okay. Jail care, requested the same. Judicial, they requested the same. Clerk of the court went up 5,000. Buildings and grounds, I left it the same. And you can see, it looks like we got plenty in there. Grant administration, I left it the same. Emergency preparedness, they changed some of the line items, but the total budget's the same. Solid waste, that decreased a little bit. Home for the aged, that's the 6 mills. So since our valuation went up, it went up. Then we have 2 6 mills for them. We have a 6 mills inside the general fund and then a separate 6 mills that's,
The equivalent of,
huh?
the equivalent of.
Okay. Okay. So. Okay, courthouse general, I left it the same. Computers, they adjusted it and it dropped in at about $1,000. Employee benefits, what I did was look at where you're at on like Social Security. It looks to me like based upon 2022, we've got plenty of money in there to leave it the same for 24. The health insurance, have you got any indication on how much it's based upon what we spent?
Eight or
I hate to
nine.
ask him,
I thought it was 8 to 9,
Was
8 to
it?
9%.
8 to 9?
That's what I thought, didn't you? Like,
Okay, how much did it go up this year?
it didn't.
It did, okay. What I've got on the health insurance is enough to cover 7% for each year. So if you didn't go up any, and then you got an 8 to 9, you still should be all right. Budget tips indicated 5 to 10 is what they had indicated on increases. Retirement, I increased that some because I figured, well, we're gonna have some salary increases. And then on top of that, Capers has taken about a 5% increase in their rate next year. So, that's the reason I increased that up. Life insurance, I left it the same. Workman's comp looked like it was okay. Unemployment, looks like we're plenty good there. And then we had a miscellaneous item that I see we didn't even use in 22, so that might be a little bit of a cushion. So a little bit of an increase there, a little over 20,000 in employee benefits, which is really good. I mean, some years employee benefits can hit us pretty hard, particularly on the health insurance is the one that really can fluctuate on you. I had a county one, well, this is probably about 2 years ago. Oh no, we haven't had a raise, we've been running great. Don't increase that health insurance. We no more and got past adopting the budget and they came in at a 24% increase. So, good, like your situation, we've got nice reserves in the general fund. That was a county that had nice reserves and we were able to handle it.
Yep.
Years ago, I had one situation like that, and we didn't have any reserves. We had to go to the Board of County Tax Appeals in Topeka and get an authorization for a no-fund warrant to cover the health insurance. So, but that's the one that can jump around on you. Okay, other. The recycling, I left it the same. Repayment of fees received, I left it the same with a big question mark because we probably ought to push that up to 30,000 if you look at what we actually spent in 22. So is that all right to push that up?
Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sure think we need it, so.
Okay.
Okay, it looked like we were good there, I left it the same. The Northwest Regional Recycling, doesn't look like we've been spending anything there.
It's dissolved.
Huh?
It's dissolved.
Okay, so I can actually take that out then, can I? Okay, I'll delete that line. Okay, here, RC&D, we had 500 in there, we still need that. And then our ROS payments, we've been budgeting 5,000, but I see we only paid 1,500 last year. Leave it the same, you think?
Yeah, I think 1,500's.
You think, bring it down?
You can take that 1,500 because we just have that one.
Okay, I'll bring it down to
I don't know whether it's
1,500
up yet or
then.
not.
Okay. Okay.
So what is like the Cheyenne County Development, does that come out of general?
Yeah, it's on the next page.
Okay.
Okay, Health Department, I left those items the same as the prior year. Services for the aged, I didn't have any budget, so I left them the same. Airport operations, I left it the same. Airport personal services, last year we put in, I think, 20,000 for that. And we still need that in there.
I don't know, that's, are we gonna get those
That's where-
snow removal stuff? We'll have to have some.
Well, that's through
Okay.
their,
90-10 split?
equipment reserve.
Okay.
This was just,
That was in case we had to hire somebody
to do the snow removal
Okay.
and
to
mowing
basically
and-
do what Mike's doing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, you looking at having to hire
You want
somebody.
to take that out? 'Cause it's not being, it's up to
I think we better leave it in.
you.
I think Mike's overextended himself.
Yeah. We
I
may
mean,
need,
I think we're getting behind a little bit on mowing up there, and, cause he's got a, not a mess,
Right.
he's taking care of it. But he's got the noxious weed, which is very important, that's his job.
yeah.
And we have a big mess in the county with noxious right now,
Yeah.
because of all the moisture. It's
Yep.
not him,
Right,
it's just the year.
yeah.
Juvenile services, that's one that some years you don't use, but when you do,
You need it.
2,000 probably not gonna be enough. I left it the same. The environmental, protection, I left it the same at 5,000. The fair, I left it the same at 25,000. Historical, left it the same at 4780. Mental health, I left it the same. I see that we didn't give them a lot less than 2022. Is leaving it the same okay?
This year, though,
Okay,
that
We're
would-
making up for a grant that was lost,
okay,
so that we can have services in St. Francis.
okay. Mental retardation, I left it the same. Conservation district, left it the same.
They asked for
They
more.
asked for an increase,
Okay. Didn't have anything on that.
27.
I was gonna say the 25,000 is the maximum state matching, so,
Yeah, and they thought that might go up. Didn't they?
I'm sorry, what?
They thought that matching could go up from the state, didn't she say
have you got
that?
something from them, what they
Yeah,
requested?
I've got it, because they were in here a week.
'Cause
Last meeting.
628.
the ones I've seen are all the same format. I presume they probably get the format from the state. And it says at the bottom, the matching max is 25,000. But if the state reduces things, they can be reduced. So,
I think they were trying to get closer to the 25,000. Does that make something to that effect? Like the matching wasn't the full 25 maybe?
Right, it seemed like it was 23 something, and they're
Right,
hoping the
and so-
state would get up to the 25.
Right, something like that.
Well, one thing, the state won't give them any more than what the county gives them. So if you was down at 20,000, that would be
Right.
the max. But where you're 25, that then gets them to where they can. But if
But
they
they,
need more
but they
money,
haven't done that yet, the state.
it doesn't appear to me that they have, from what I've seen out of some of the other counties, what was been turned in. But I also have several counties that give more than 25 too, so that's a decision that,
They're asking for more this year.
No, it stayed at 25.
They left it at 25.
okay. Yeah, this is the format that I see. I don't know, and it shows that they're only gonna get 23,000 from the state. I don't know why they're not getting the 25, and 25,000 from you guys. And then down here at the bottom, it tells about the 25,000 being the max.
Okay.
And I had another county that I worked on that was gonna give them more, and then they found out that the state wasn't increasing that 25 and had me cut it back. But like I said, I still got a couple other counties that are giving them 30 and 35,000, even though the state's only giving them 20.
Thank you.
Okay, Western Kansas Child Advocacy, left it the same. Domestic and sexual violence, I left it the same. Northwest Kansas Planning and Development, I left it the same. Economic Development, it's the same at 32,000.
They were just in here and asked for more.
Is that something you guys want to do, or you want to wait a little bit to think about it? Or?
Oh, which one was that?
CCDC.
CCDC.
How much was that increase for them?
3/4 of a mil, 37,120 is what they were requesting.
And what were we giving them?
32.
So basically $5,120 increase, which isn't, they're doing a good job.
Good, John?
Yeah, I think they've been doing a good job. I'd be willing to
Okay.
raise it. Do we need a motion for that or something? No?
You'll do that when you do the budget.
So increase it up to the 37,130?
120.
120, okay. Thank you.
I mean, they did get here kind of late, but
They're doing it.
Okay, Land and Sky Scenic Byway, I left it the same. Capital Projects Reserve, money possibly be transferred, left it the same at 30,000. Reserve for CO, that is our cushion. So, we've basically got 520,000 built in as a cushion for
it's on
24 year and the 25 year, I mean 23
which
year.
page are we on?
7E.
7A?
E.
We're not getting so far ahead.
Then down under grant, I had a budget that's showing the revenue, but no expenses. But I also see that the grant is being run through a separate fund. instead of through the general fund. And that's the reason there wasn't any expenditures in 22, so, their revenues were totaling 49,145. But since it's being run through a separate fund, do we really need it in here? That's the reason I left it out, is, it's all grant funds and stuff they're getting, and so my thought is we just,
So we
well,
basically had two line items for them.
well, it's in the back few pages where it's a fund that's not budgeted. And so it's back in, towards the end there. But I think we used to run it through the general fund, and then it looks like we've set up a separate fund for itself. Which really is probably a good deal, since the majority of the income is coming from grants and things. So,
So you zeroed it out.
yeah. And like I said, their budget form showed the revenues, but didn't show anything for expenses. And that's, I started wondering, and then when I seen, oh, well, it'd been a separate fund, it's not budgeted, that's from the reason. Okay, so that basically covers our general fund, with the changes that we made. It looks like we bumped it up about 2.2 mil, or not mils,
Percent.
2.2, so little increase, but we're still way under the revenue neutral. Okay, next page, road and bridge. And looks like probably the levy is just about the same as what it had been. Our rate's down because our valuation's down. Had an increase there. One thing is that the money we get from the state, they've reduced what they think we're going to get a little bit. But to be real honest with you, we're going to get less than that. If we get 260, we'd probably be lucky. From what I've been seeing is the state estimates have been high the last few years. So does that look all right then? Or do you want me to revise their state amount from 267 down to 260?
So if we revise that down, and we gotta add it somewhere else.
It will increase the tax, yeah. But on the road, we were 19.387 mils, 19.782 mils, now we're down to 19.067.
And if you think it's gonna go down $7,000, we need to.
Well, my thought is, yeah, don't know that it'll go a whole 7,000. But Road and Bridge is one I hate to short the money on a little bit. Let me see what this does if I change it, take 7,000 out of there and, okay. That takes them up to 19.175 mils, which is still lower mill rate than the last 2 years. So, does that sound all right?
Well, a lot of that stuff is where we use for oiling. And if we lose $7,000 there and
That's
we're
a
gonna
big deal.
resurface,
Yeah.
we better make it up somewhere, because we're gonna oil a bunch this next year.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I don't wanna do it, but I'd hate to be short that
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. One thing is, you do have a pretty good balance carry over in your special road improvements, which that's another non-budgeted fund, and which you can spend that on anything from road and bridges.
So we could use it as a cushion and leave it the
Yeah.
same?
But we've got bridges coming up that need repaired, and we've got,
Yeah, yeah.
we just bought a bunch of
Where your
culverts.
special machinery, that's restricted for machinery for the road and bridge, so. But I don't think it would hurt to take that, lower that amount, but that's up to you guys.
And add it on, or
And increase the levy just a little bit, that
do you
$7,000.
want it or not?
I hate increasing it at all, but I also understand that if we need it, we're gonna need it, so I'll leave that up to you.
Now, why would you leave it up to me?
You're the brains of this
Oh,
outfit,
really?
but I agree with you.
I thought I was the smart ass of this bunch.
That too.
We're not classified today, I guess.
Hello.
What do you wanna do then? Be conservative and bring it down a little bit, or leave it to where the estimate is, even though we probably are not gonna get it?
Bring it down a half of it.
Okay. So that is,
How's that?
That's better than the full.
okay.
So would that be like 19.085?
Well, I can't see commodities going down.
Okay, that'll bring it down to 19.121 mils then.
I was way off.
Yeah, and I've got, a delinquency calculation built into this of 3.5%. So anything that we adjusted, it don't adjust it exactly dollar for dollar. Just as a dollar plus the additional 3.5%. Okay, now noxious weed,
Page 9.
let's see, what I've got that at is at, the 1.5 mils. And we need to do 1.5 mils to, the law says if we levy 1.5 mils